So this is the beginning of Cosmic Fire Webinar Commentaries 19C, and we are very much in this discussion of the second cosmic path and how it relates to the seventh cosmic path, the dry alchemicalization which occurs that breaks up the electric spark so it can pass through onto a line of energy which takes it on the path of absolute sonship and towards a certain constellation. And these units are absolute sparks of parental love, and we've talked about which are the parental constellations within the system of the one about whom naught may be said. Now we're talking about three preliminary burning grounds, one of them between the Hall of Ignorance and the Hall of Learning, another between the Hall of Learning and the Hall of Wisdom, and this burning ground must be completed before the third initiation can take place, and another burning ground which seems to be associated with the fourth initiation and in preparation and the preparation to become a full adept. I was saying that it can't really be we can't really be dealing with the burning ground which destroys the atmic body of causes. On the higher three planes of the atmic plane, there is a strong hint in many ways and places that there is such a vehicle which releases one into the full life of the monad. So one is released into the full life of the monad by this type of burning ground on the atmic plane. At least that is a theory, and I think there's something to this. The third burning ground produces a spiritual alchemicalization, whereas the other two produce results in the objective or form side. Well, a spiritual alchemicalization meaning a release into the cosmic etheric planes. As alchemicalization is used here, alchemicalization, is there an S? No, it won't do any good. So we might as well spell it the American way. Alchemicalization can give greater freedom in the world of form or freedom from the world of form, as occurs at the fourth initiation. So the third burning ground, which is responsible for the destruction of the causal body with the, we'll call it the Buddhic flames blowing, and the Buddhic plane as heaven. There is a power of the second aspect of the will, and maybe of the second aspect of the triad, which is very much responsible for the destruction of the causal body. Now, at the destruction of the causal body, one is ready to become a full adept. What is meant by the term adept here? That's the question. In this context, does adeptship mean the fourth initiation or the fifth initiation? Usually the adept is the fifth degree initiate, but not always. So at least if he's ready to become the adept arhat, you see arhat is a term usually used for the fifth degree, but if he's ready to become the adept, the arhat who is an adept, then we could be simply speaking of the fourth initiation. And it does release the central fire onto the triadal planes and out of the causal body. So that is an alchemical release, and I just want to say that the release of the central fire, the jewel in the lotus, onto the cosmic etheric planes of the spiritual triad is really an alchemical process. Is really an alchemical process. Whenever a confinement to life is left behind, we have spiritual alchemy, which is a process of freeing and of freedom. And Uranian in that respect, yes. So there's Uranus in seventh ray relation to alchemy. This is Uranian, as Uranus is the planet of freedom, and the planet of the seventh ray, which is the alchemical ray. So this third produces a spiritual alchemicalization, yes, whereas the other two produce results in the objective or form side and the subjective consciousness aspect of his triple nature, of both, both. The first burning ground affects form. The second burning ground affects the subjective soul nature, with the egoic lotus still intact. When these three burning grounds are passed, the adept is prepared for another and fiercer experience. The fires get fierce as we are preparing to be liberated. I think we can say that. Okay. Now, moving on, at least having suggested some ideas, we have other burning grounds. If we are to be released, from the 5 lower worlds, there will be a burning ground. And if we are to be released from the temple of Ezekiel, or the monadic vehicle, there will be a burning ground. And if we are to pass from the sea of fire into the cosmic astral plane, there will be a penetration of the protective webs which guard such a passage, lest it be premature. So more fiercer burning grounds lie ahead. We imagine that the destruction of the causal body is somehow like an ultimate burning ground, just the way some imagine that nirvana is somehow the end of all spiritual experience, but it's just really the beginning. Just imagine what the burning ground must be that takes the universe into absolute pralaya. Can't imagine, of course. Can't. But one can think as if one could imagine. The hierarchies concerned with this path are mainly the third and fourth. Well, this is the Taurus hierarchy and the Gemini hierarchy. We're not talking about the triadal lives. We're not talking about the human lives. We're talking about, Gemini hierarchy. We're talking here about these, the fourth, the light through knowledge, Taurus, third hierarchy, and number 4, Gemini. And of course, we've talked about the relationship of Gemini to this process which occurs on the path of magnetic work. Is it possible that this Taurus and this great eye can have something to do with the path of absolute sonship? That one becomes a unit of parental love? See, because there's a connection here, we might say, yes, with Taurus, we have the Pleiades, and the connection of the third unmanifested creative hierarchy, third unmanifested creative hierarchy. Oh, I think that needs a little help there, don't you? Third unmanifested creative hierarchy. I guess not all of these were considered necessary. Third unmanifested creative hierarchy. To the Pleiades. And the Pleiades are the greatest of the parents, the great mother. And Taurus, the mother of illumination. So maybe, maybe, who knows, that constellation that we're talking about could be the Pleiades. At least that would cover the parental love part of it. Everything goes to the Pleiades eventually anyway, because there is found the central spiritual sun. So only the human units can pass on to these two paths. Only the human units. Aha, okay. Two paths. Presumably, the path of magnetic work and the path of absolute sonship. The Deva hierarchies of the third order have already passed upon them, and it is their previous work which enables man to do so. Well, we're not sure who these Deva hierarchies are, but we do know there are Deva hierarchies, and they have orders. That much should emerge. There are Deva hierarchies, and they have orders. So there are certain beings that have risen to the third and fourth, who have taken these paths. Only human units can pass on these two paths. Deva hierarchies have already passed upon them, which means such hierarchies will necessarily have cosmic astral and cosmic mental experience. And they, I suppose, provide the necessary streams of energy through which to approach the constellation in question, whatever it is. If of the third order, then maybe there is a connection with the Pleiades, whose major ray, so it seems, is the third. Anyway, these are links, these are possible links, and we have to see whether they bear out. This is a great mystery, and more must not be revealed about it. But man needs bridges. The monad needs bridges over which to pass, and devas are the great bridge providers or builders. They are the relation between. The devas are the relation between. The group of the silent watchers of all degrees are closely connected with this second cosmic path, and all of them are lords of sacrifice and are animated solely by love, and all have therefore passed to the sacrificial burning grounds. Well, how many silent watchers can there be? There are many, and we saw that before. Silent watchers. Sanat Kumara is a silent watcher. And is he in some way connected with the second cosmic path? Of course, he's far beyond that, because he is, in a sense, an expression of the planetary logos. So this is already a different and higher path than the second path, I suspect, but not necessarily different or higher than the seventh cosmic path. Okay. Well, yes, as we read through the books, we understand that there are a number of different silent watchers. They remain detached. They hold the will. They hold the purpose. They operate magnetically, drawing all beings in their care towards the purpose. So we have to wonder then what are the hierarchies of the third order. We do know that the third creative hierarchy could be related to the hierarchies of the third order. The third creative hierarchy could be related to the Deva hierarchies of the third order. This is kind of a Taurian, a Pleiadian planetary entity. Pleiadian. Let's see what we have there. Pleiadian, P-L-E, and D. Okay. We have that. P-L-E-D, Pleiadian. Of the third order, a Taurian, Pleiadian kind of line. You know, when you think about the Pleiades and its relationship to the Deva kingdom, it's very, very close. So all of these number threes and the third creative hierarchy and the idea of the Pleiades, these get one thinking about that parental love. The Pleiades, of course, are a great source of love, of cosmic buddhi. We don't know from what level of the Pleiades this comes, but we do know it exists. And we're told cosmic buddhi comes from the Pleiades, cosmic atma from the, or suggested cosmic atma from the Great Bear. Cosmic buddhi, of course, is the great love energy. So is this the most attractive source? Is it greater than the other constellations that have this second ray energy? Of course, we have so many possibilities that we're in no danger of applying our powers of group meditation to a constellation and bringing in too much love, because, after all, it could, it would be a dangerous and futile thing to do, and we're not even sure what the target in group meditation might be. But we do know of a number of the constellations which are chakras in the one about whom naught may be said, which have a very strong second ray energy connected with them. The little bear, which is the sun, Sirius, which is the cosmic Christ, Orion, which is very possibly a strong heart center in the one about whom, and of course the Pleiades themselves, not only a third ray constellation or super constellational logos, but having a very strong second ray through cosmic buddhi. It is only possible to give the most elementary of the exoteric symbols. It takes the form of a funeral pyre in conflagration. What is dying? What is dying? And what is released? With 4 flaming torches, one at either corner. Is this release from the cosmic ethers? Cosmic ethers? From the center of the pyre, a fivefold star mounts like a rocket towards a flaming sun of predominantly rosy hue. Well, this fivefold star, we seem to be talking here the rosy hue suggests the cosmic astral plane, as we will see in the rays and initiations description. The pyre means that form is dying. Pyre suggests that form is dying. Form on the cosmic physical plane. The fivefold star suggests the fifth ray monads, or just the monad, just the electric spark, and it mounts towards the rosy nature of the cosmic astral plane. And this is alchemicalization. The release of the quint essence, or the volatile essence, to a higher sphere. So, I wonder what the symbols for the various types of monadic rays are. I think a five-pointed star could be for the fifth ray monad, but obviously not just fifth ray monads will tread this path, but maybe many. Alchemicalization. Okay. From the center of the pyre mounts a five-pointed star like a rocket. Interesting about rocket science and the fifth ray, too, isn't it? Towards a flaming sun of predominantly rosy hue. What other hue is there? Not the green, I suppose. It's hard to say. Is the blue there? The blue and the rose for the astral plane. Four flaming torches. The ethers are holding the volatile essence, but then it can be released. I suppose, to me it seems, release from the four cosmic ethers to the cosmic astral plane. The release of the volatile essence. So this is the rocket of the alchemized volatile essence. The path of magnetic work, responsiveness to heat, and knowledge of rhythm. And I want to put in there, feeling and seeing the frequencies. The source, an unknown constellation via Gemini, and I think later he may say it is Libra. I'm not sure about that. But possibly, or the constellation which leads to the path of absolute sonship. The method is entering of the burning ground, of which there are many, each higher, more fierce than the next. The hierarchy involved the third and the fourth, Pleiades related, and also the Gemini hierarchy. And we are told that Gemini is connected zodiacally. The symbol, a funeral pyre, four torches, and a fivefold star mounting towards the sun, a rosy sun, symbol of the life of the cosmic astral plane, I suppose, and the quality gained, electrical velocity. Well, in the rising of the rocket, in other words, to release the volatile essence alchemically, what kind of electrical velocity is needed? Mounting like a rocket, velocity in the rocket. And the rocket. And the electrical spark is what is released and alchemized so it can break through barriers. Some understanding seems to be coming of that. And then our next, ashamed to leave it, right? But he will give more information now, and maybe we can see whether we've been correct in thinking about this. Okay, friends, so well, we do get the idea of alchemical release, don't we? And I have presented the other problem, release from the cosmic physical plane only at the time of approaching the path of absolute sonship, or release from, the cosmic physical plane seems to have the barrier between the ether and the cosmic astral, but of course it does appear that the 4 torches are the 4 fiery worlds, which are still worlds of form. 4 fiery worlds, which are cosmically still worlds of form, mounting towards the sun. One thinks also of that rosy sun of the 6th law of the soul, the path of the law of expansive response. Again, a rosy sun. When similarities occur, we have to note them. We go into rays and the initiations. In referring to this path, I have stated that those who find their way onto this path work with Fohat, or with the essential energy of our solar system, which differentiates into 7 major types of energy. Is the third aspect, energy, essential? Because Fohat is related to the 3rd ray, though there are 3 aspects, or even 7, of Fohat. Though. So they work with Fohat. It's called here the essential energy. I mean, in a way, it's the primordial energy of our solar system. We might say it is the primordial energy of our solar system. But let's see what he means further. Our planet, with its ruling lord, is an integral part of the life expression of a still greater entity, the solar logos, and it is with the astral energy incident to his cosmic nature that the master has to work. So he's working in relation to the cosmic astral plane. The master on this path, the 2nd, works in relation to the cosmic astral plane. He learns to direct the currents of this essential energy Now, I mean, this must be Fohat again, huh? Because he referred to essential energy above as Fohat. So this is Fohat. And because of his past relation to the Earth, he is part of the directing agency for astral energy within the planetary ring past knots. So the service rendered is to the planet from which he departed. And this may be the case with other planetary lives from other planets which take the path of magnetic work. We cannot imagine that only those on Earth will take this path of magnetic work. I also said that many masters who leave what? Well, leave the planetary ring past knot, reach liberation upon the fifth ray. Many of the masters who leave reach liberation upon the fifth ray. Is that correct? Many masters who leave. Let's look at this. This is going to be in rays and initiations. We want to make sure that there's not a typo or I'm just not pronouncing it properly. Right. So. No, I don't have privileges for that. Okay. Many masters who leave. There's only one. Let's see how this should be said. I also said that many masters who leave reach liberation upon the fifth ray and reach liberation upon the fifth ray find their way to this path, thus proving the statement that it is not the ray which determines decision. The fifth ray masters, among many others, of course, will be working in a great second ray vortex of energy. Well, it looks like there's some word missing. Many masters who leave reach liberation upon the fifth ray. He only spoke of fifth ray monads. Find their way to this path, thus proving the statement that it is not the ray which determines the decision. So, in other words, if it were the ray, the path would be strictly if it were the ray, the major second ray energy of this path would determine that second ray types only would follow it, but apparently not. These fifth ray masters, at least that is their monadic ray, unless he is speaking now of fifth ray souls as well. Fifth ray souls as well will be working in a great second ray vortex of energy corresponding to the second path, and of course Gemini giving the power of the second ray. So that is interesting and important. These are the details concerning, some of the details concerning this higher path. And I'm going to fifth ray souls. Okay. So let's see further. It must be pointed out that in its original state, this pure astral energy an astral aspect of Fohat, as Fohat is active on all the planes of Agni, the solar logoic personality. This pure astral energy directed under law into our planetary life is free from all that is at present associated with the astral plane: glamour and delusion, emotional fog, and poisonous, deceiving phenomena. Even though, as I've said, somehow the Black Lodge finds its focus on the cosmic astral plane, but I wondered on what level. You know, there are different subplanes of the cosmic astral plane, about which we know nothing, of course, but one can speculate. These well-known aspects of the astral plane are all the creation of humanity down the ages. So we have used the form-making form-making qualities of the systemic astral plane to create negative forms. Therefore, an increasingly difficult problem to all aspirants. The tormenting turmoil and chaos of the astral plane are due largely to three factors. So now we are speaking of the systemic astral plane, the force of constantly developing glamour as self-centered and undeveloped human beings create it. See, the creation of glamour requires ahamkara, self-reference, self-referencing distortion. It always skews perception. We might say ahamkara always skews perception. The force of those aspirants and disciples who are seeking to combat this in their own lives and in the lives of others, this contributes to turbulence. No, how about that? Contributes to turbulence. The inflow of pure solar astral energy under cyclic law and the direction of the master working on the second path. So we are still on this path of magnetic work in the astral body of the solar logos. The departure to distant constellations, when that is in order, does not occur immediately. There may be training on a certain planet, then staying within the subtle vehicles of our solar logos. In this case, his astral body. So we have glamour making, we have combating the glamour and the inflow of pure astral energy. I suppose you might say our solar logos has taken his second cosmic initiation and thus has a relatively pure astral body from the cosmic point of view and a very pure astral body from the human point of view. Okay. These three factors create great trouble. During the past crisis of the World War, 1914 to 1945, it reached most serious proportions on the systemic astral plane. Okay, and this was written apparently. No, how about that? How many T's can I get? Apparently after the war. It's, from what he says, we, in a way, have to determine when something has been written. The hierarchical crisis to which I have earlier referred was involved, and many masters from the various ashrams made a decision to work on the second path in order to bring order out of chaos by pouring into the planetary astral plane pure astral energy untainted by glamour and revelatory of pure love. Many masters from the various ashrams. So in this emergency was the second path really their path, or did they respond to planetary need? They were experts in timing and in energy manipulation. So remember, response to heat and how did it say something about rhythm? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And knowledge of rhythm. 4, 5, 6. Yes. And knowledge of rhythm. So this is not only of frequencies of matter, but knowledge of cycles and when to apply the pure solar astral energy. When to apply the pure solar astral energy. You will also note how 3 types of astral energy are therefore related. He's really getting into the redemptive aspects of this work from the second plane. The astral force of our planet, distinctive of the planetary astral plane in the 3 worlds of human enterprise, and much affected by glamour, which the human kingdom has created. The astral force of the solar logos, the true God of love. Now, and the astral energy of the cosmic astral plane. Are these last 2 really different? Because in a way, if we have astral force of the solar logos, is this still the systemic astral plane? Or are we dealing with his astral body on the cosmic astral plane? This looks rather systemic.